Have your tarot read the Dale Jackson way?
Morning Dale, what a nice horse picture you got there.
Thank you, Chris. I did that in pastels quite a long time ago, and it's red rum, but I did the picture after red rum.
Red Rum was a famous winning racehorse.
That's right, he was a famous winning racehorse, and I did that from a book cover that I copied, but it was kind of after the event in a way. But I'm doing a good idea for Sagittarians would be to look at the horse, because it's the Archer, half man, half horse, sign of the zodiac. That's Sagittarius, and the Archer ruled by Jupiter. So we've got here Sagittarius, the Archer, the 23rd of November to the 22nd of December. And that is the last one of the fire signs that we've been doing. And it's the sign that is ruled by Jupiter. So big things happen with Sagittarians, and it's a sign of the traveller. So they like to move about the world, and they're never kind of long in any one place, in the sense that they like a big adventure. And they have a bow and arrow, so they need to have a target, and they need a challenge, and they need to fire at a target, and then when they've conquered that, they need another challenge and another target. Now Jupiter is a planet for big things, and it's just moved into the sign of Libra after a long time. So things are going to change and be on the move now for Sagittarians. And so this is a good new time for new adventures. And in Libra, it'll be for balance, for harmony, and for partner and partnerships to be looked at. So that's the idea for Sagittarians at the moment. We're doing this little card reading, or this view of a card reading, the Dale Jackson way, in Virgo in 2016, and it will take us across the new year into 2017 for just an idea of a view, and I'm doing it in a very general sense. And those of you who want a personal reading, your own particular reading with your own elements, I would need your birth date, and then I can put the elements in here and have a look at the balance. So we've got a December birthday here, somebody in 1965, and we've got the Sagittarian red, and then their moon sign here is a Gemini in yellow for air, and then the red is fire, air, earth, water, earth, water, earth. And I put these colours in because that gives me an idea of the elemental makeup on your birthday, and this is how I apply the astrology to the cards that I use. The Thoth deck of cards, a very powerful deck with beautiful pictures by Frida Harris, and it's the Crowley set. And I used this particular deck over the last 40 years without knowing, in fact, when I got it, that it had anything to do with Crowley. And those of you who know about Crowley will know that he was a very notorious person. But anyway, I kind of transcend and rise above all that, whatever he was all about, and do this the Dale Jackson way. So I make my own associations. And to do that, once I've got your birthday, Sagittarius, I then want the 12 numbers from you between 1 and 32. These 12 numbers make the psychic link so that I can count the cards off for you. So you send me the numbers for me to choose the cards, and then I put out 12 cards for the year ahead, starting in this case Virgo, and we go ahead and have a quick look, a quick way of how I do the cards. When I do your own personal reading, I do spend some time with this, and I write it all out. It takes me a couple of hours, then it's all typed up and sent to you on an email, sent back to you on an email. I used to do it by post, and if you want postal, then I can send a postal document too. But this is going to be Sagittarius for the year ahead. You're a fire sign, so good. On this reading we've got the fire ace, the wands has come up as your energy, and this fire ace is very much an attitude to win, the positive mental attitude. I often compare this to the Olympic torch, and you're holding the flame and the torch, and you have this attitude to be out there and win. Now this is saying don't be too hasty in this reading or this set of cards, because we've got a Tower card here. So it's saying look at what you're targeting. You don't want it to fire back or ricochet back, because this is the Tower card and can be a little bit destructive or disruptive or cause a bit of aggro. So this is saying be careful what you're aiming for, and don't fuel the fire. Don't put more input into an argument than is necessary. The Priestess card would say you can be a bit quieter about what you've got to say, be a bit calmer, a bit more peaceful, instead of just quick off the mark and angry. So that would take care of the Tower card in this reading, and it's around the Lovers card, so a lover's tiff of some sort has to be sorted out. This card next to it down here shows everything comes back to life. When you drained yourself of a bit of energy, up comes the phoenix rising from the flames on an ace. So your self is restored, your self-respect is restored. So it's saying here, bit of peace, not war, make peace, not war, basically. The other cards are quite significant in the fact that this year you're going to probably experience a lot of new things, new clubs, societies, new areas of life that you haven't discovered yet. And that's because you've got the Wish card or the Star card in this particular reading, in the general sense. And it's saying, wish on this star. You can beam things in. The internet or the social media can beam things in, and you can explore and do things you haven't done before. So that's very good for all things to do with what's out there in the technical sense. And it's a wondrous world of discovery with the first card. So Sagittarians, here's a very kind of Jupiter picture. A big strong man, very muscly man. So it could be a man here who's well into bodybuilding or things to do with keeping fit. And this is travel. We've got the Chariot card, travelling, and we've got the World card, so anywhere in the world. It's also a spiritual journey and an awakening to do with the development of the spirit. And Sagittarians like to go on pilgrimages, and they might go on a bit of a world tour or a world trek somewhere to a pilgrimage. Might be the Himalayas or Tibet or somewhere in Europe. I've got the East here. I've got the Eastern Eyes and the dark-haired people, and I've got the icy mountains. So this might be a trip to the Himalayas. I've got a kind of icy card, and I've got this feature here, dark hair and dark eyes. So I'm looking at kind of that oriental influence in a sense. So here are the cards for Sagittarius. We've got the Ace, to do with being a leader and doing well, but not to be too quick off the mark, and to be a bit more listening and a bit more receptive in the course of an argument between two lovers. We've got the Wheel of Good Fortune, and we've got breaking new ground into a new adventure. We've got travel and money, and we've got the idea of the spiritual uplift too. Now, areas in the world that also where there are camels. Let's go to the camels. And again, we've got the East, Middle East or Far East, and we've maybe got a bit of a kind of clash here. There's a lot of fighting going on in that part of the world. So let's see if we can find some peace, some agreement, some adjustment, some harmony that might come out of world conferences and leaders getting together and trying to find peaceful solutions. So there's a big idea in these cards, and it might be pertinent to you on a personal level. And so we can look at you for the strength that you might need for the future. But these cards, having said that, and having had the Tower card there showing a little bit of fractious tension in the cards, it ends up with this lovely kind of transition into the pot of gold there, all base metals turning into gold and happiness, and looking all together into the harmony and well-being of the individual. And that's the strength of the fire, and the fire of Jupiter in this case for the Sagittarian. I think there could be a change of work or jobs for you, and certainly the travel picture is very good, but keep to the peaceful zones, not the war zones. And any argument between lovers or relationships, listen, adjust, compromise. So that would be a good idea for Sagittarians this year. For your personal reading, Sagittarius, the things I need to know from you are your date of birth, your name, address, gender, nationality if you're born in a different country from the one you live in, and I need £50 sterling to be paid to my PayPal account at the Dale Jackson Way at virginmedia.com for your own personal tarot for the year ahead, and I'll be very pleased to hear from you and to return it a couple of days when I've spent a couple of hours looking at the cards for you, and find the clues that are meaningful for you in the year ahead. Big things will happen for you, Sagittarius, so keep on firing your arrows at the target that you want to achieve. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dale.
Have your tarot read the Dale Jackson way. So that's PayPal, the Dale Jackson way at virginmedia.com, and the same address for any other inquiry. Video produced by Chris Summerfield Media.